Thank you. I will call the CROG Transportation Committee meeting for Monday, May 18th, 2026 to order. And the roll call will be electronic. CTN will be broadcasting the meeting. And before we move to public forum, a point of personal privilege. For me, it's sad and it's bittersweet. Let's put it that way. But in case I suspect some of you already know, but Rob Trottier, this will be his last meeting. He is retiring from Bloomfield at the effective the end of June, but with earned time, he'll be departing sometime in early June. As he was in New Britain, he's been an absolutely fabulous asset to the town of Bloomfield and to this committee. And we will miss him dearly, and we wish him well as he moves on to the next stage of his life.
Thank you, John. Appreciate the kind words.
They're richly deserved. With that, we'll do public forum. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to address the committee? Going once? Going twice? Going three? That's it. I will close public forum and move on to adoption of our minutes from April 20, 2026. And they have been distributed, and I would entertain a motion to approve.
Patrice Carson, so moved.
Thank you, Patrice. Is there a second?
Todd Rowland, second.
Thank you, sir. As all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And abstentions, and if you're abstaining, please indicate your name and community.
Dave
Abstain.
Smith, Vernon, abstain.
Steve Salt, Black Rocky Hill, abstain.
Any more abstentions? Thank you both. The minutes are approved as distributed. And we'll move on to staff reports. Roger, you want to start with 60 seconds for safety?
Sure. Thank you, John. Good afternoon, everyone. Just a quick update on our safety action plan process. We did post the safety action plan on our website as of May 1st, and we had a task force meeting on May 6th. Our comment period ends on May 30th, our public comment period. So there is the draft document with much appendix material, much of which the crash data and the priority projects have been seen by the towns at various stages over the past year or more. And then we are working to then get any necessary revisions incorporated early June so that it would be hopefully ready for Transportation Committee approval and Policy Board approval at the normal June meetings. So that's where we stand. If there's any questions, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Any questions for Roger? Moving along, Elizabeth, with all the good news on funding updates.
Yes, thank you. It's been a busy spring. Hopefully those of you who are already underway with their Safe Streets and Roads for All grant applications, the applications are due next Tuesday. So if you do need assistance, please feel free to reach out. There's also a requirement for a letter of coordination with your MPO. So if you are applying and you need that letter, please reach out to request that as well, the regional coordination letter. So that Safe Streets and Roads for All, again, is due next Tuesday, May 26th. So a week from tomorrow, which is the day after Memorial Day. So CROG, we are preparing our application, hoping to submit it this week, Thursday, so that we don't have a stressful holiday weekend. The other two programs I would just highlight here that are in the newsletter are the Community Investment Fund is the Connecticut program. It's through the Department of Economic and Community Development. And that's an excellent funding opportunity for a variety of different projects that have an impact in certain communities. So there's an eligible list of communities in the newsletter, linked from the newsletter, and as well as a list of what we have there's several on, I think it's just on the second page of the newsletter, which you can open through the link here when you receive the slides. And then the third program that I'll highlight is the Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities program is BRIC. It's a FEMA program, but you have to apply through the State Department of Emergency Management and Homeland Security. The hazard mitigation staff is handling that that application on behalf of FEMA applications. So you're encouraged to start planning early. The deadline is the official deadline to FEMA is July 23rd, but the state has instituted a July 1 deadline, and they're offering office hours to discuss projects. So if you have a project that would help address, or you need to address resiliency, infrastructure resiliency issues, that's an excellent program to consider. And the fourth bullet that's not here, because just as always, whenever I issue a newsletter, a new opportunity drops. So this time it was the Bridge Investment Program, which we've been expecting an amended notice of funding opportunity to come out. And it sure did on last week, but before I had a chance to include it in the newsletter. So there's going to be planning applications available for these bridge projects, as well as bridge projects, which are the smaller of the two, which $100 million projects or less. So if you have a project or a grouping, a bundling of projects that you would like assistance, financial assistance with to, build or plan the bridge projects, that's another program available to you. And it's a US DOT program. So it's not the state's program, but it's the federal program. And the last thing I'll bring to attention, if you want to, you can go to the next slide. This does share that CROG has guidance documents available for SS4A as well as BRIC. We've created some PDFs that consolidate the notice of funding opportunity and webinars, different information that we've consolidated into these guidance documents to help make it easier to apply, so you're not hopping around to different documents. And then we also provide grant application technical assistance, a reminder about our webpage. Is there a previous slide? Sorry. Is it, or did I just, oh, here we go. Yeah, the featured updates. This is just highlighting some of the key information about the three programs, FEMA, DCD, and the SS4A, and then also the CROG Brownfield Revolving Loan Fund rolling basis. But I wanted to highlight the reauthorization of surface transportation funding, because the U.S. House of Representatives yesterday issued the bill for, that's now the proposed bill for the, because the IIJA is expiring September 30th, 2026, this new bill is under review. And it's just going to be a iterative process in passing the new 5-year surface transportation bill to replace the IIJA. But I did want to, point out that did get released yesterday, and more information will likely come from our partners like AMPO and NARC. And we're, just to make sure, we're tracking that. So, and now the next slide is just my contact information. If you do have any questions about any of the programs that are available, if you're going to apply, or if you need help with your applications, let me know. Thank you so much. Any questions?
Thank you, Elizabeth. Cost review subcommittee recap, Bob? Rob?
Yes. for all you, most of you were here for the subcommittee meeting. We highlighted 3 of our studies that are currently in public comment period and ready to wrap up, ready to come before the Transportation Committee, likely next month for all 3. So we wanted to highlight those. For those of you who aren't there, there's a recording that'll be posted of the subcommittee. So you can, if you do have public comments, feel free to comment. And then we'll be looking for action on those soon in one of our next Transportation Committee meetings. So just wanted to point that out, what happened at subcommittee. Thanks.
Thanks, Rob. Well, you got the next one too, the annual meeting?
Yes, we have our CROG annual meeting coming up. This will be June 3rd at noon. It's up at Yukon this year. And so we're looking forward to seeing many of our member municipalities there. Signups, there's registration information both on the slide, and I think Annika just put it in the chat. So signups, I'm hearing signups are definitely open for this week, but at some point we'll reach the limit. So if you're interested in attending and having some food and mingling with your fellow municipal leaders and CROG, feel free to sign up. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. Any questions? Annika, Condot, MRP, and PPP?
Thanks, Sean. Yeah, this is an update on the maintenance resurfacing program and the pavement preservation program. These programs are both formally known as the VIP, the Vendor in Place program, if that name is more familiar to some of you. And this is just a heads up that CTDOT has a list of projects for their 2026 season for both of these programs. They're attached in the memo, and for the maintenance resurfacing program, they even have like a little dashboard to track progress. So this is just something we encourage you all to review what projects are going on. If this is a little, last minute for the 2026 season this summer, but it's always good to be able to reach out if there's other things going on these roadways. If you have goals of adjusting travel lane widths for maybe allowing for more space for alternate modes or just for safety and traffic calming, repaving projects can be a good opportunity. The memo also has contacts for each program, and if you have any general questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Annika. Just comes to mind, and just a comment, or maybe when next time you all meet with Condot, I noticed when they put their notice of public hearings in the newspaper, they just refer to the project number. There's no layman's description of the location of where the project is. And I think it would be helpful. We've had a couple in Bloomfield, but unless you know the project number and can relate that back, you don't know where in town they're talking about. And I think it'd be useful for the general public if they actually indicated, the intersection of so-and-so or stretch of so-and-so in that public hearing notice. With that said, Mike, Condot Active Transportation, the virtual open house.
Yeah, thanks again, John. So as you're probably aware, DOT is nearing completion of their statewide active transportation plan. This focuses on improving safety, accessibility, and the overall quality of life for active transportation users throughout the state. The plan aims to develop and modernize sidewalks, bike lanes, paved trails, and also intersection improvements, along state roads. To really kind of create safer and more comfortable travel options for vulnerable users, such as bikes and peds. So as part of their public outreach, DOT is hosting a series of open houses. Last year we had 4 in-person workshops within the region. They were in Hartford, New Britain, Mansfield, and then lastly in Windsor Locks. This round of outreach is going to be conducted virtually. So just trying to get more people who otherwise wouldn't be able to make it in person. So they are going to be tomorrow at noon via Zoom, and then Wednesday at 6 p.m. And I'll drop both the links to that, both the registration links to those in the chat as well if you're interested. If you have questions, please let me know.
Thank you, Mike. Any questions? All right, Dagmar, the utilization of the commuter parking lots.
Thank you, John. So our CROG staff performed our biannual park and ride counts at the end of April. And this gives us a snapshot of usage over time in fall and spring. It is slightly down this count. We'll see how that continues in the fall and next year. I do know that PondDOT has closed some lots and they're working on upgrading some lots. So I saw a lot of construction in lots. I know they're upgrading the lots themselves, bus stops, the shelters. So it'll be interesting to see what this looks like the next couple counts. And I also know that they're looking to update, do a study of the express bus routes, many of which serve these lots. So I expect to see some changes in the next year or two with these counts.
Thank you, Dagmar. Any questions? Any other staff reports?
Yes, John. I want to congratulate again Rob Trottier for his retirement, but also acknowledge Dave Smith, who's in the process. I'm not sure when he's fully retiring. I see him on the call, but thank you, Dave, for all your work in the region and for Vernon, and really appreciate your service to the region. Thanks.
Thank you, Rob.
Ditto.
Thanks, John.
Matt's not attending, so we don't have an executive director update today. So we'll move on to the TIP amendments. Rob.
Yeah, we have 7 TIP amendments in front of you. 1 through 3 is really mainly National Highway Performance Program funding, which is mainly on interstates typically and major bridges. And that's what they're being used for here. And then 4 through 7 are all transit FTA funding for various transit in the region. So 1 through 3, we have a bridge, 3 bridges, really a bridge. The first one is a bridge just west of the Bulkley Bridge. The next set of infrastructure bridges as you move west from the Bulkley Bridge over the Connecticut Southern Railroad. Then we have the tunnel, what you could be considered a bridge or a tunnel, where the skate park is over 84. That is over Maine and I forget the other road, but and the area in between the two. And then finally in Weathersfield, this is a bridge, the Wilbur Cross traveling over McMullen Ave, which is the next road, north-south road, just west of Celestine Highway in Weathersfield. Then we have 4 FTA funded, and the most major of them is the $15 million for a new fare collection system on CT Transit buses. So there are the current system is over 10 years old. Technology advances very quickly in that realm. The newest technology is contactless payment, for credit cards, smartphones, that kind of thing. And so this is for 690 new fare boxes to renovate the fare collection system in the bus system. So that's the most major of them. The other are capital improvements, Union Station, and some other state of good repair improvements in the region. So all are the appropriate funded sources, and we'd recommend Transportation Committee and Policy Board eventually approval.
Okay. You want to take an action on all of them at one time?
Sure.
Okay. I'd entertain a motion to approve the TIP amendments as presented.
Patrice Carson, so moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second, Suzanne Choate.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes and the TIP amendments are approved as presented, and we will forward them on to the policy board, acting as the MPO. Jack, you've got the last three.
Thank you, John.
All of the resolutions, please proceed.
Awesome. So I'll be presenting three resolutions. The first one is a continuation on the Transportation Improvement Program. Karen and I presented that recently, and we've just concluded our public comment period. So each metropolitan planning organization is required to maintain a 4-year transportation improvement program, which lists and details all the surface transportation projects that will receive federal funding over the next 4 years. While this document is amended frequently, as we just did, a full update is required every 4 years. The draft tip is for the federal fiscal years 2027 to 2030 and was just available for 30 days for public comment period. And we also did 2 public meetings related to the tip. And all the additional information, including the narrative and the entire list of projects, is available on the CROG's website under the tip section. Just as an overview, the CROG's tip for the 2027 to 2030 had over $267 million in transit projects and $1.2 billion in highway projects, for a total of $1.5 billion for the entire capital region. And so this resolution would be endorsing that list and moving it towards policy board.
Thank you, Jack. Any questions? Motion would be in order to approve the resolution endorsing the FY 2027-2030 Transportation Improvement Program.
I'll move. Patrice Carson.
Thank you, Patrice. Is there a second?
Second, New Britain.
Thank you, sir. Any discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passed as presented and will be forwarded on to the policy board acting as the MPO. Jack, the conformity with the Clean Air Act.
Great. So along with the tip, the MPOs are required to submit an air quality conformity statement to the Federal Highway Administration and to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency to demonstrate that the predicted emissions from the projects listed in the tip meet air quality conformity standards and are compliant with the Clean Air Act. CROG falls within the Greater Connecticut Ozone Non-Attainment Area, which means that ground level ozone pollution currently exceeds health-based safety standards, which comes with some extra tasks and expectations and regulations. And so all of the predicted emissions from the projects listed in the tip were put into an analysis done by CTDOT that looked at all the other tips from the different MPOs and long-term transportation planning across the entire state to see whether these expected impacts conform with the targets set by the EPA. And so they did that analysis, and they have confirmed that the expected emissions are conform with the target set. And so this document just says that they have done this analysis and that the projects conform and meet air quality standards and expectations.
Thank you, Jack. Any questions? Again, I'd entertain a motion to approve the resolution indicating conformity with the Clean Air Act.
Patrice Carson, so moved.
Thank you, Patrice. Second, please.
Second, Steve Soplak.
Thank you, Mark. Any further discussion? Seeing none, hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Abstentions? Guess we got great air. Motion to approve the resolution.
Not yesterday.
Conformity with Clean Air Act is approved as distributed and will be forwarded on to the policy board acting as the MPO. And finally, Jack, our annual MPO self-certification.
Right. So for every year, every metropolitan planning organization is required to submit an annual self-certification that its transportation process has been conducted in accordance with the terms and provisions of applicable federal standards, just confirming that we are meeting all of those standards outlined by the US DOT and all of the other regulations that regulate MPOs. This is in addition to the external certification that CROG recently completed with the FHWA and FDA, which findings were published in January and we already went over. And so even though that looks at very similar things and whether we're meeting all of the regulations, this one is an annual requirement, again, just to sort of self-certify that we're meeting all of those regulations.
Thank you, Jack. Any questions? I would just make a comment. I'm surprised that they still allow us to have the item number 4 in the resolve clause. But I guess they haven't caught up to that one yet at the federal level. With that said, I'd entertain a motion to approve the resolution regarding the annual MPO planning certification as presented.
So moved. 3 for 3, John. Patrice.
Thanks, Patrice. Is there a second?
Devin Copperway, Windsor Locks.
Thank you, Devin. Any discussion? Hearing none and seeing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion approving the resolution passes as distributed and will be forwarded on to the policy board acting as the MPO. Any other business, staff?
I think we're all set.
Well, then, thank you all, and enjoy the summer that's just arrived, as long as it's here, which I hear is going to be short-lived, but we'll take what we can get. And motion to adjourn would be in order.
Patrice Carson, so moved. Up, second.
Thank you, Patrice. Second?
First.
Steve Sokolak.
Second.
Thank you, sir. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
We stand adjourned. We'll see you again in June.
Congrats,
Thank you.
Rob.
Take care. Congrats, Rob and Dave.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.